on. I need to explain how I feel for you people to understand. Evil cannot always win. You know, you get me something to do, you should be God, not the exist. Evil should not always win. If you look around the country, different people are busy in different sectors. Everybody's trying to see how the country can move on. Look around the Peters in National Assembly, trying to submit form for electoral reforms. Look around social media, everybody's trying to speak out. And then one person comes to make a joke out of it. I took it as a challenge. I said everybody feel busy, but you see here, and I focus. I really wanted to see that. For how long they want to follow? These people need to know, say, these people moved on deep. Just at the point where I was getting tired. Because if you are the only voice crying in the wilderness, at some point you get tired. Just at that point where I don't say, my last video on this, I've proved my point. This lady is just lying and running up and down. Just at that point, the friend of the evil accuser comes outside, not the voice notes, koro, to tell the world that, he's my friend, I know I'm. See, now me and she be planned this thing, but I no great because she no good. Anyway, she went ahead. I just want to tell you all that she's lying. See receipt.
My name is Mrs. Francis Lisa Bonaya, but of course, my friends call me Tabitha. You know, I just have to give the full my name full so that they will know this is real. You know, verifiable. And then for those who might be thinking, maybe no, whatever I'm saying on this show is nothing but the truth. It's also not just going to help Senator Natasha. It's also going to help Senator Akpabio. I'm from Ireti. Somebody from Ireti is more related to somebody from Akpabio, because we're just like my house, 2 houses away from my house is in a local government in Akpabio. So I am even more related to Akpabio than I am to Natasha, who is from Kogi, or even I am to Sandra. So you know, whatever I'm doing is just for just the good of everybody, for them to know who Sandra, who goes by the Monica from some big is, and of course become careful and also do away with that trash she has with her, claiming, you know, that she's got some audio. Now, let me go straight deep into the stories, and I want to tell Sandra, if she's watching this show and if she's going to watch it, that I dare her to release our phone conversation. She records conversation. She should release my conversation with her, because if she doesn't, with time, we might also release it. So now, but for the interim, on Saturday, I think Good Saturday, that's what people call it, the Saturday before Easter, you know, she called me in the morning, early in the morning. She reached out to me. It's been a while I've had some her. The last time she reached out to me was around October last year, 2024. She reached out to me and begged me to make a video. With her, are you best friends? Let people know what you're doing. Different to somebody I've not seen before. But I'm a gender advocate. I'm a journalist and a gender advocate. Yeah. So whenever when the young women in politics or young women have problems, they reach out to me. Lot of them. And of course, whenever a woman has a problem with anybody, regardless of who you are, I will stand with the woman first while inquiring what happened. And I've done that for Sandra severally, and I'm also doing that for Senator Natasha. So, but the last time she reached out to me was around October 2024. After a long time, she went hiatus. She reached out to me, begged me to do a video about her, saying how good she is, you know. So I think maybe after a long while out of the media, she wanted to relaunch herself with him, that she needed some of us with pedigree and with some influence to launder her image. She didn't just reach out to me, she reached out to a couple of other persons. What do? I have to oblige her, you know, kind of. I did the video, and in that video I was specific because I knew Sandra is always having something up her sleeve. I said in the video, even though I've never met you, I said it in that video, and she posted it on her page, and I still have the video. If need arises, she can also have it. That was in October 2020, and she thanked me so much for coming through with her with the video, and that nobody has spoken good of her like this. I said no, I needed to do it for you, because I really, you know, I really need her to become a better person and come out of every other mess or cloak she has always been on. So, and that was it until Good Saturday, early in the morning. She reached out to me and said, sister, please, I will have something for Easter for you. And for me, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I said, okay, I don't know why. This one I remembered. Okay, I sent her the account number. She sent 100,000 naira. I said, thank you. This is appreciated. Then that was it. Then after 2 hours after sending the money, I didn't know that, you know, Sandra is always planning ahead. And 2 hours after sending the money, I had everything. I have the evidence of everything I'm saying. She called me after 2 hours. That was around 9:30 something or thereabout. I think it's in this one I'm using. So she now told me that she realized I had been supporting Natasha, I've been fearing, when they support. I said yes, but this is what I do. I stand up for women who can't be. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm even a young woman in politics, I'm a career woman. I know what some of us go through. That is also not me being a judge in the whole case. But then, as a woman and a woman advocate, this is where I am at the moment. So she now said no, that there's a new truth, there's a new whatever, that she was standing with Natasha until she found out something. I said, what did you find out? Let me hear. So she sent an audio today. So I listened to the audio. I said, okay, what do you want to make of this audio now? Because I didn't see anything incriminating, because she had told me that Natasha had told her that had confided in her that there was no sexual abuse. But the audio she sent to me didn't in any way connote such. If that audio is true or was true, know that Sandra is good in cloning. I have an evidence where she told me some time ago that cloning is one of the simplest things she does. So because of that, I was skeptical about that video. And number two, even if that video was original, I was trying to understand. Only that audio was original. I was trying to understand what she was trying to do with the audio, because the audio she sent to me was not in any way harmful. It didn't in any way state that Natasha she was never abused by anybody, or harassed by anybody. So I now asked her, what are you trying to ascertain? She said she wants to show people that Natasha reached out to her. I said, Natasha reaching out to you is not a big deal. I'm a woman politician. I know I ran for elections. And when I was running for elections, there are persons who ordinarily will write for me, promote me. I don't give them anything. But when I see somebody writing about me much, sometimes I look out for their number or contact and call them to tell them, thank you for standing by me. If I get to this position, I will never forget you. I've done that, and we do that. We do that. We appreciate support. I said, well, she now said, she also now showed me a place. I think the place about in your Umore, it was there. In that one she sent me, the true one I did. And I said, okay, if you're really doing this thing now, are you helping? Let's assume Senator Natasha said, yeah. Are you helping Akpabio or you're killing Akpabio? Because this issue of being able is going to bring the matter afresh and keeps the Senate president in a bad light. I personally, I might have been taken aback. I might feel towards Senator Akpabio, maybe because of this current imbroglio. But there should be respect for his office as the Senate president. So I said, if you're reading this thing, are you not intentionally bringing the office of the Senate president another set of people again? She said no, that she was going to do. I said, okay, now what will you tell them? Because this place does not in any way exonerate, this audio does not in any way exonerate the Senate president. In fact, mentioning about people and everything, even indicting more or sort of a probably not of public opinion, though. So she said no, that she knows what to do. Yeah. So she now wanted me to go to have all these conversations if she wants me, so she now wanted me to go to a television station. Said she's not in Nigeria. That's after she had lied to me that she was flown into the country through a private jet to come and do that. I don't know. It can be true. It can be lie. You see, Sandra, I have known over the years, lies effortlessly. Lying is one of the things she does without even thinking, So I said, okay, but if I'm going to go to the station, I must be neutral. I will knock Senator Natasha where necessary, and I will knock Senator Akpabio where necessary. She said no, that she wants me to go and bombard Natasha. I said no, I won't do it, especially when it's not true. And I will not, and I said it. This was a good Saturday. She then said, okay, that she wants to maybe like do a PR around it. I said, fine, you do a PR, no problem. I can give you blogs at you, but make sure you say what is true. Because I listened to that audio. She said, okay, she asked me for a number of this number. She asked me for race number. She also thought of it here. She said she marked out 30 million naira to share to some opinion holders and some for philanthropy. I'm saying all these things because there are evidences, and I challenge Sandra to release our phone conversations. Maybe she record people's calls. She should release the one I had with her. So I said, oh, really, this must be really serious. I'm going to have marked out 30 million naira to share to opinion holders. Okay, in my mind, I'm like, it's 100,000 naira part of my own mother's. Because me, I do not know. So that was it on that. I gave her this number. I told her the Soros number is one American number WhatsApp I had. I don't know if it's good. She now said she's got that one. I said, okay, that's fine. So I think she reached out to Adeyoju. She called me back that evening and said that Adeyoju is so rude that how can I call him? He said he doesn't have time. I think if Adeyoju can be contacted, he can tell you on that Easter Good Saturday that something like this happened. That so he thought Adeyoju was like Adeyoju bluffed her. So she now got angry and called me back. Who does Adeyoju think she is? That she also claims she spoke to somebody. So I don't know if we can contact somebody if she has spoken to her something like this. So and so I now said it's fine. That was it of that Saturday. When I told her I was going to go to the station only if I'll be allowed to be neutral, not where necessary, So she now said, okay, that she was going to get back to me. I didn't hear from her again. I only had the audio. She also made some bogus claims with the audio while we were talking. She played some voices claiming this is the voice of this number, this is the voice of some person, and I'm just telling her it is because those audio will come out. Those audio will come out because she's claiming all these people she's claiming called her, and I'm also saying it in case there's any top politician truly communicating with Sandra, the person should know that Sandra is recording him or her, and Sandra will use it to blackmail the person because she played some voices for me, and she played some voices for me, and she said she was calling the thing number 3. She said number 3. Do you hear that voice? That's the voice of number 3. She played the voices and while we were talking, and then one other voice again.
Are you saying that's been the voice of the Senate president?
I can't really confirm that. You understand? But I can confirm that in our conversation, she claimed that the voice she played for me was the voice of number. So when this conversation comes, I think she should be able to know me. I don't know number. I don't know which number. I don't know what is number 3. So that's by the way. So I didn't hear from her again. Of course, it was Easter Sunday. Then on Easter Monday, around 6 to 7 in the evening, she called me back. She apologized. She said why she didn't. I didn't hear from her was that she didn't want somebody who would go and speak the truth or be neutral. She wanted somebody who would go there and destroy Natasha. These were the words. And I dare her to release our conversation. So she said she wanted somebody like Tony. Tony now. So I'm like, well, you can use Tony. Tony is, I'm a journalist. I'm a member of my watch. I am a fellow of many. Yes. I told her you can go and use Tosha, but me, I cannot go and Kokasia. She now use the word Kokasia. Kokasia is to destroy. I said, I cannot go and Kokasia Natasha because one, I'm a journalist. I'm still a member of AUJ, and I'm in Nigeria. I'm a member of my watch. I'm a fellow of many women fellowship, especially women. I'm even a young man in politics. I have an election in 2023. I'm hoping to run again. And now you want me to go and lie against a fellow woman? No. So then again, when we were talking, when we were talking, she was just blabbing, she brags a lot. I told her, is there no way this matter can be settled? Because sincerely, for me, I don't care whose ox is being God. Sincerely, for me, I want peace in all of this situation. You understand? I want justice and peace. I just want peace. I just wish this thing can be sorted out. So that's exactly what I also told her. I was like, is there no way these things can be sorted out? She said it's already late. I said, what is late? In politics, nothing is late. 1 hour well used can make up for 10 years in politics. And I know that. She said, not even when many of her are alive and still breathing, that Natasha will not return to the Senate. This was what she did. And like I said, those who know me know of the Ghanaian religion. God is a big factor in my life. God is a big factor in our religion. Our religion is built on God factor, is built on truth and karma. So when she tried playing God, saying not even when people like her are still alive and breathing, that's where she lost me totally. I will not lie. And I told her, hold it there, and I halted her. I said, you don't claim God and you don't play God in people's life. She said, why do you say that? I said, because you don't know. These people are friends before. They can settle anytime. This was what I used. So I'm saying this because I want her to believe our conversation. So she now went ahead and called me on Easter Monday towards the evening and said, after she had said she was going to use stone and everything, and so that's fine. She now said, okay, but she still want me to do something for her as regards whatever she want to do. I said, what do you want? She said she wants me to produce a voiceover. I said, okay, what can we make up from that audio? He said, but I did not see anything indicting in that audio. That's why I was shocked when I had her saying, Natasha said in the audio, I'll bring down your back government. Why didn't she put out that audio? When? Because nothing like that happened in the audio. I told her to send me everything because I needed to hear everything before I will know whether I will go to Lagos for her for any TV interview. So I will know what to say. So it was really baffling hearing her say, Natasha said he bought Antiope or Nigerians are hungry and gullible. If that audio is anything to go by, what I had, which is the original one she sent, was I had Natasha who was just sounding excited that she was supporting her. You know, I think Natasha was just talking about her life, how she grew up and every other thing. You know, how she struggled as a woman in politics to get to where she is. Why thanking her for her effort? So where on earth did Sandra I'll bring down your back government? Where did she bring hungry and gullible? My God, I've never seen a person like that. And then, so that evening, go back to Monday. So when she sent me a script, I think I also forward the thing if it need be. She sent me a script already prepared. They prepared script on how they. Okay, once they expose somebody who called you went to make a script like a movie script. You paid musicians to produce songs. Somebody called you according to you. You went to are you not hiding something? You're not showing that you're up to something. So she now sent all those things to me to produce a voiceover because I own a studio. I own a production studio. So I looked at the things she sent to me. They are defamatory. The script she sent to me, they are defamatory. You know, as we are a law-abiding studio, we are law-abiding people. So I worked on the audio. Get one of my staff to voice and everything. We removed.
And going through the video, I could deduce the five-pronged, how will I call it now? The five-pronged mission of this woman. Number one is to attack Senator Natasha's credibility. Number two, attack the credibility of anyone who had stood up or joined her voice to that of Senator Natasha and thereby make them withdraw from her. That's number three. Number four is to stir up the mob. So as a mob stirring, attempt against Natasha. That's what you see from her references that Natasha referred to Nigerians as hungry. Is it H and C, hungry, H and G, hungry and gullible. And number four, the fifth one is that she's on a desperation for relevance. Desperation for relevance. And on that desperation for relevance, all she did was just trying to market herself. You hear her say that, anyone who is in court with Natasha can approach her to come stand as a witness. She's just marketing herself. That's it. And several times you will see in her video where she alleged that, I don't know this one, what's it called, who is Yahaya Bello. Madam, you are a liar. You lie. Well, yeah, your lie stinks. I don't know who is Yahaya Bello. I don't know who is Pantoranking. But that's not my focus. I just wanted to give you a vivid and concise insight into what this woman did. On her video, she displayed her call record with Senator Natasha Akpabio. Now, this was what she did. On the call record that she displayed, you can see from the call record that the duration of this call was 37 minutes. 37 whole minutes. And then she alleged, or she claimed, that she had a recording of this call, which I don't doubt she did. But at trying to play the recording from the call, you could see that herself and her team had carefully taken this call recording of over 37 minutes of a conversation with Senator Natasha and extracted snippets, segments to suit their cause and to suit the narrative that they wanted to propagate. And you can see that when she played those recordings, she was not playing recordings that a call recording directly from her phone. She was playing a recording that herself and her team had doctored and were forwarded to her via WhatsApp. Both herself and her team and whoever put her to the job that she's doing, her sponsors. Yes, you can see. This is it. There's a picture of the recording she was playing. You could see that these are snippets that were deliberately extracted, doctored, and forwarded to her on WhatsApp. Madam, call recordings do not originate from WhatsApp. And the reason why I'm doing this video is to dare you to play the entire call recording, the entire 37 minutes conversation you had with Natasha, to put her statements that you extracted, to put it in proper context. But no, you will not do that. Why? Because you are a manipulator. Madam, I would have said you were a witch, but you are worse than that. You are a devil. Let me show you what this woman did. You can see from these WhatsApp snippets that were sent to her, you can see the duration of the snippets that they took out. One is about 22 seconds. One is about 26 seconds, not so clear. One is 23 seconds. Another 46 seconds. And another 2 seconds. You know, at the end of the day, the entire, what's that called that? The entire duration of the snippets they extracted out of a 37 minutes conversation is not even up to 3 minutes. What did she do? She played a segment showing that Senator Natasha actually, made a call to her. What's the next thing? And she ended it there. What's the next thing she did? She played a segment, a snippet of where Senator Natasha spoke about the visit, talked about the visit by Ma Ngozi Ezekwesili to the Senate, to the Senate hearing. Just a snippet of it. Madam, why don't you play the entire conversation? Why don't you play the entire recording to put in proper context what she was talking about? No, you won't do it. And you know why? You are a manipulator. You are a deceiver. And the next thing is, oh, no, I'm not going to play some things because of the mental health of herself and her children. Since yesterday, within 24 hours, I can see that you've made over at least, can I say 3, 4, 5, if not even more posts. And you say you are concerned about mental health. You're not concerned about mental health of anybody. You are not playing anything because you have nothing to play. And don't get this twisted. Bottom line is that we are not saying whether Natasha's allegation of sexual harassment is true or not. All we are saying is, let a panel be set up to look into, an independent panel be set up to look into the allegation and come up with their findings. Period. In her video, you could hear her say something about Natasha told her about this Yoruba government. They want to pull it down. Is the Senate president a Yoruba man? Is Godswill Akpabio a Yoruba man? Mother, you are a deceiver and your lies stinks. May God help you. May God help your generation. That's all I have to say. I dare you, I dare you to stake your integrity, your authenticity, your credibility on the line and post the entire recording of your conversation. Not what they have doctored and sent to your WhatsApp. Okay? You can only use that to deceive unsuspecting simpletons who are all over social media.